Imagine a king whose heart never wavered, whose wisdom was unmatched, and whose devotion never faltered. What if Solomon's faith had remained unshakable through every trial and temptation? Stay with me, because the story we're about to uncover doesn't just reshape a kingdom. It questions the very essence of wisdom, power, and faith. By the end, you'll wonder, could one man's unbroken devotion change the course of history itself? Solomon, the wisest king the world has ever known, sat on his golden throne as the sun illuminated the halls of the temple he had built. Every stone, every column reflected his devotion, every detail a reflection of a heart aligned with God. But the story we know has always told of his failings, his deviations, the moments when power and wealth tested his faith. What if, instead, Solomon had walked without ever wavering, without ever straying from the light that guided his soul? Imagine a kingdom where wisdom was pure, where decisions were made not out of fear or ambition, but out of unwavering faith. In this world, every choice reverberates differently, and every piece of advice given shapes not only a nation, but future generations. Prepare for a journey where one man's devotion transforms the destiny of all, and where each step reveals that faith, when constant, can defy even time. Before Solomon forged his unwavering path, Israel lived through a period of transition and fragility. Newly united tribes struggled to balance ancient traditions and emerging ambitions, while neighbors cautiously observed every move. The temple was still under construction, symbols of faith and power intertwined, and the people sought signs of direction and protection. Previous kings had faltered, alliances were breaking, and instability threatened the future. Amidst this backdrop, young Solomon received instruction from his father and prophets, learning that wisdom and devotion could be more powerful than swords or gold. The world stood on the brink of a choice, and every action of the king would have echoes that would extend for generations. The turning point occurs the moment Solomon, standing before the newly built temple, decides never to stray from the path of faith. Unlike the story we know, he rejects political and personal temptations that could corrupt his soul. No foreign cult, no alliance forced by fear, no selfish desire that obscures his wisdom. It is a silent, almost imperceptible choice, but one that changes everything. With this decision, the flow of time and its consequences is altered. Every decree, every judgment, and every piece of advice is now filtered through absolute devotion. The world begins to feel the effect of a leadership that never wavers, and what seemed natural until then becomes extraordinary. In the days following Solomon's decision, subtle changes become visible. Advisors and officials perceive an unusual firmness, a clarity of purpose that transforms debates into precise actions. Neighboring tribes hesitate before a king who does not bow to bribes or intrigue. The people's faith strengthens, reflecting the monarch's devotion, and the temple, now sacred and imposing, becomes a symbol of unity and hope. Small acts, just judgments, balanced economic decisions, sincere alliances, quickly reverberate, showing that the integrity of a leader can alter the rhythm of an entire nation. Solomon's unwavering devotion shapes every aspect of his personality. He becomes not only a king, but a beacon of integrity and emotional balance. His wisdom blossoms naturally, guided by firm principles, and every personal decision reflects a heart aligned with God. Temptation still exists, whispering in solitary moments, but he confronts it with discernment and humility. Solomon's mind becomes a blend of compassion and steadfastness, learning to listen, to judge, and to inspire. His constant faith transforms fears into courage, doubts into clarity, and each step he takes transmits a silent strength that contagiously affects all those around him. Local communities immediately feel the difference of an unwavering king. Tribes previously divided find unity, guided by just laws and wise counsel. Merchants and artisans thrive in an environment of trust, and old conflicts begin to dissolve in the face of Solomon's impartiality. Collective faith strengthens, reflecting the monarch's devotion, while rituals and celebrations become moments of connection and inspiration. Each village realizes that stability and prosperity do not come from force or fear, but from just leadership and the unwavering faith that shapes everyone's daily life. Solomon's influence expands beyond the villages, reaching the entire kingdom and its neighbors. Nearby nations observe a sovereign who governs without corruption, and peace and trade treaties are forged based on trust, not intimidation. Rival tribes, once prone to conflict, learn to seek dialogue and collaboration. Borders become more secure, and Israel's prestige grows, attracting scholars, prophets, and travelers who recognize the stability and justice emanating from Solomon's throne. A united kingdom flourishes, and the vision of a devoted leader begins to redefine the destiny of the entire region. Centuries later, Solomon's decision reverberates like an immortal echo. Lineages of kings are inspired by his unwavering faith, and history records a pattern of leadership based on justice and devotion. Conflicts that could have destroyed the kingdom are avoided, and lasting alliances shape the politics and culture of the region. Sacred texts and historical records reflect not only the wisdom, but the monarch's continued integrity. Solomon's influence transcends his time, showing that a life guided by firm principles can alter the course of history and create a legacy that extends far beyond the temple walls. Solomon's unwavering faith transforms the perception of God and spirituality among his people. Rituals become sincere, not mere traditions, and the connection with the divine is strengthened in every action and decision. Prophets and priests find inspiration in his devotion, and the relationship between the people and God deepens, based on genuine trust and reverence. Future theologies build upon his example, teaching that true wisdom is born from constant faith, and that the spiritual integrity of a leader can illuminate not only a kingdom, but an entire generation. With Solomon guiding with faith and wisdom, culture flourishes in a unique way. Arts, music, and literature reflect spiritual principles and social harmony. Science and engineering advance with ethical purpose, creating lasting works and well-planned cities. Innovations are not merely technical, but symbols of balance between knowledge and morality. Technology serves the common good, and culture becomes a living expression of devotion, showing that progress and faith can walk hand in hand, shaping an exemplary society. Imagine the golden sun reflecting on the temple walls, while merchants bustle their stalls and children run through the paved streets. The wind carries the scent of fresh bread and flowers from the royal gardens, while musicians play melodies that echo through the valley. Neighboring tribes cross bridges and rivers, in respect and admiration for the king who rules with faith. Each scene is a picture of balance and prosperity. Sacred temples illuminated by the twilight, vibrant markets, advisors gathered in serene discussions. The camera floats over hills and cities, capturing the harmony of a kingdom guided by Solomon's unwavering devotion. Solomon's story reminds us that true leadership is born from faith and integrity. Decisions guided by devotion and wisdom generate impacts that go far beyond the present. Each choice shapes lives, cultures, and future generations, showing that a leader's strength lies not in wealth or power, but in the constancy of a heart aligned with high principles and a greater purpose. Pause for a moment. If you're amazed by Solomon's unwavering faith, hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss how his devotion reshaped history. Share in the comments. What would you do if faced with the same choices? But Solomon's story doesn't end here. What would have happened if his devotion had been tested in even more impossible ways? If hidden forces had tried to corrupt his path? In the next episode, we'll explore challenges that could shake even the most faithful king. Stay with me and find out. Even after Solomon's reign, the echoes of unwavering faith continued to resonate. His decisions shaped generations, and the kingdom thrived under wisdom and devotion. Reflect on the power of a single heart aligned with God, capable of transforming not just a nation but history itself. Imagine what lessons today's leaders could learn from a life lived in steadfast faith, and how one man's devotion might still inspire us now. Look beyond the throne and imagine your own life guided by unwavering faith. What could you achieve if every choice aligned with your highest purpose? How far could Solomon's unwavering faith really go? If you enjoyed Solomon's story, subscribe for more untold biblical tales, hit the bell, and leave a comment sharing your thoughts on faith and leadership.